the creators who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing. This is World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Hey, thanks for joining us. This is the Wow Report. I'm Fenton, co-founder of World of Wonder, here with the inestimable Tom Campbell.
That's my last
Yeah.
name. Hello, Fenton.
I was going to say Tom St. James. With the inestimable Tom Campbell and the inimitable James St. James.
Well, hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hey, so we count down the top 10 things that made us go
Wow.
This week. Let's
Dive right in.
dive right in. Number 10.
Number 10.
You guys, guess what I did this weekend?
Let me guess. It has something to do with your cats.
I went to CatCon.
That is so
I went to CatCon.
and
For
it's got the pussy hat.
those of you who can't see, this is
Oh, Pussy Riot hat.
I
yeah.
didn't buy this at CatCon. It's a T-shirt with the Pussy Riot hat on a cat.
Oh,
I have it. I'm a huge cat person. I went to CatCon. I do not wear cat clothes because I'm trying to be somewhat closeted about it. I'm slowly coming out on air. But you know, I'm the person who everybody buys cat stuff for. Like Secret Santa, World of Wonder. It's like cat cookbooks, cat calendars, and keep them coming. But they're a secret thing. But I went to CatCon. It's created by Susan Michaels. She said she founded it because there's no equivalent to the dog park for cat people. And I thought, oh my gosh, what?
Yes.
Right?
Well, because you can't let cats go in a park.
The New York Daily News says, if you absolutely adore animals, known for abject apathy, CatCon 2017 was for you. So I went, my friend Laura, who I love and I've known for so long, and her two teenage
was
daughters.
it here in LA?
It was in Pasadena
Okay.
at the convention center. And she said, do you want to go to CatCon? And it was just any excuse to see Laura.
Do you want to go to CatCon?
Yeah, I just need
It's
to. Yeah, so I went, and you know, we do RuPaul's Drag Con. Duh, we talk about it every other.
So you have
sentence.
you know your cons.
I know a little. I hadn't, and that's the only con I've been to is Drag Con.
Oh, so this is like comparing and contrasting.
A little bit. It was
Yeah.
research. I think I can write this off. Can I, Fenton?
I'm sure the expenses are huge.
It was research.
It was research, and here, you know, it was fun, and I'll tell you the fun stuff. But what was missing? The key element was not enough cats.
Oh.
This
Were
is-
there cats? Were there cats?
There were some cats in sort of some
In cages.
partitioned off like IKEA rooms that you could stand in long lines to pat and adopt. And something like 150 cats were adopted, so that's good.
But it was basically cat aficionados
And-
talking about cat
stuff and you know, robo litter boxes and the best
Yes.
litter thing and thing. Now, a friend of John Pauly's who works here at World of Wonder and has been on the Wow Report several times. He has he's a Brooklyn artist named Jay Morrison's his name, and he has a line called Homo Cats, which I immediately went to because he has Kittens Against Trump, which is very very fabulous, and he also has jock scraps that say "Mask for Cat." So I like that. Julie Newmar was there.
The Catwoman,
the original
sure,
Catwoman,
makes perfect sense.
Who's also been at DragCon.
Was Cat Dealey there?
Dealey was not there.
Were there any big cats?
Like lions.
Yeah,
and tigers
yes,
and bears.
yes, yes.
No, but there were big cats in terms of Instagram followers. Okay, Lil Bub was there. Do you know who Lil Bub is?
Oh, yeah.
Now this is the other thing I had the
Wait,
kind
was
of,
Grumpy Cat there?
Grumpy Cat was not there. Had a bad day. But
So this is a second tier CatCon, is what you're saying.
no. There's a cat called Nayla who's so photogenic, who kind of has crazy eyes.
Yes.
Has 3.4 million followers on Instagram. But Lil Bub, what I kind of realized is all the cats that are famous are a little bit deformed. Like Lil Bub has like no teeth and like half a spine.
What's like that dog with his tongue hanging out who's
Yes,
so famous?
yes.
It's also a little bit like Elizabeth Taylor or Tom Cruise, who are like small, but they have those big heads that photograph so well.
Yeah. But when you walk around, I mean, there's the cat people out is crazy. I've never seen so many, Ariana Grande head kind of
Josie and the
things.
Pussycat ears.
And the pussycat hat, right? The one on your T-shirt.
Yes.
Were a lot of those?
There wasn't a lot of those. There wasn't a lot of those.
Not a big Russian lesbian pageant prop fans.
No.
Pussy Riot? No.
And there was some there was the main floor, and they said like maybe 20,000 people went, so DragCon's bigger. And then there was the theater, and I saw like there'd be women in beautiful clothes carrying these. They look kind of like high-end cat boxes meet luxury RVs, and those would be like the celebrity cats being brought into the theater.
In the carriers.
They're VIP carriers.
Did you buy anything?
I didn't because I'm just Clutter is my middle name. Oh, there's just someone to look
Sorry.
at.
Exciting.
Wow.
James will be right back.
I should have. I didn't. I bought tickets.
Yes.
They've raised $70,000 for cat charities. He's only 2 years old. So
it's 1 day or 2 day event?
It was a 2-day event.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, but the big question is, what swag did you get and what did you buy?
I got a CatCon grocery bag that they give you. I'm not big on taking stuff. I go for the experience.
Were any panels?
There were these kind of things in the theater. I didn't go into many of them. The thing was, it was a little underwhelming, but it's new. It's growing. I love the idea of cat people together.
A lot of people.
You need more cats.
I can think of lots of panels, right? Like Julie Newmar versus
Eartha Kitt.
Okay.
Eartha Kitt
Cats versus dogs. Right?
Let's say there's potential because there's the first thing I saw which set my mood and lowered my standards was they had the schedule for the 2 days, and it was Saturday and Sunday. They missed an opportunity called Saturday.
Catterday.
So they were missing the camp.
Well, we got to send Rudy over, and we got to get him
Rudy
to
does
like.
our drag
Or
queen.
should we compete next year and launch RuPaul's drag con?
Yes. Anyway, we've probably lost all our viewers, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. I went to CatCon, and I might go again next year. There, I said it.
Well, you can get more information at catconworldwide.com, and all these stories and more will be on the Wow Report, worldofwonder.net/radio. Andy,
That's correct.
Yeah, and you can also watch us on the YouTube, by the way. Yeah. James, what do you got at number 9?
Number 9.
At number 9, I saw Ingrid Goes West. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I want to see this, but I haven't.
It was a big Sundance hit. It's really, really good. It's a comedy. It stars Aubrey Plaza as a girl who can't distinguish likes from relationships. She's
It's hard.
It is hard. Elizabeth Olsen plays a social media influencer who has this very glamorous life. Aubrey Plaza has a history of stalking people and becoming obsessed with them.
And I love her.
She's so good. She is so good. In very short order, Aubrey Plaza decides to move to Venice Beach to stalk this girl and insinuate herself into her life. It's sort of a single white female, but there's a lot to say about social media age. It's very smart. It's very, very funny. I don't think we've ever seen Elizabeth Olsen in a flat-out comedy role like this. She's a revelation. She's so good. Aubrey Plaza, at one point, has a scene with Ice Cube's son, who is in it, and he's her love interest, and he's really sexy.
Crushed ice?
And he plays sort of a Batman fanatic, and she dresses up as Catwoman, and she's like licking him. And Aubrey Plaza,
I'm interested.
It's really fascinating because I've never thought of Aubrey Plaza as a beautiful woman because she does her shtick so well that you never really see beyond that. But she's really sexy in this. She's really good. I want to do a Hot Men's of the Week. We haven't done this for a long time.
Oh, God, it's not since Dunkirk.
Now I know you two roll your eyes
No,
every time.
no.
I
No, it's
see
just
the
our
looks
way
you,
of-
the secret looks you give each other.
Secret looks, but of course we're secretly very, very excited to hear about Hot Men's, and we just pretend to be above it all and like, oh, James, you old perv.
Go on, we're listening.
Well, this had Billy Magnuson in it, okay? And I don't know if you both know who Billy Magnuson is because he's been around. You, Fenton, know Billy Magnuson because he played Kato Kalin in the American Crime Story O.J. Simpson, okay?
Oh.
You know Billy Magnuson because he's on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt when Jane Krakowski's husband is wrapped up and then they unwrap him and he's this beautiful blonde man and he's sort of a dizzy blonde boy. That's him. He was also in he was Rapunzel's prince in Into the Woods.
Oh, well, I remember that.
No. He had that wonderful song that he sings about how he's a hot prince. Remember? You didn't see it?
I'm bad. I didn't see it.
What?
But I know who you're talking about. Now.
Well, I started watching him. He was on As the World Turns, and I started watching As the World Turns because this boy was on it, and you just saw these pictures, just this blonde, just beautiful, beautiful boy.
If Hot Men was the stock market, St. James would be the richest man on earth.
No, but I also
he finds them early, he invests in them
find him.
early.
I found him. I found him 5 years.
You are the Alan Carr.
I am, and we will get
Yes,
it. But,
yes.
but about 6 or 7 years ago, ago, I started watching As the World Turns for this boy. He was also on. He was nominated for a Tony a few years ago for Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike, and there were a million pictures of him. He was Spike. He was this sort of like hustler. He was in his underwear the whole time. He was nominated for a Tony for it. Anyway,
and he's in this movie.
Anyway, in this movie,
I think we have to put some pictures on the
we do. Anyway, in this movie, he plays the ne'er-do-well, a really entitled brat of a brother of Elizabeth Olsen, who sort of comes in the third act, and he has this scene where he's in his underwear and he's doing coke and he's dancing around and he's threatening Ingrid. And we've always seen him as this sort of like charming pretty boy idiot type, and this is the first time where he's like crackling with this malevolent energy, and he's really interesting. He's really somebody to watch for. I really think everybody needs to. It's only opened in a few cities right now.
What's it called again?
It's called Ingrid Goes West, and it's
in
absolutely
theaters
fantastic.
I just have one important question. What kind of underwear is he wearing?
Well, he's wearing boxers, but everything's flopping around in it, so it's really nice. But I do want to say that it's something that's like really timely. We've never had a social media movie yet about a social media star, and this is like it's like it does it really well. It's really smart. It goes really dark very quickly, but it never loses its funny energy.
It's the You've Got Mail of 2017. I'm teasing.
No, it's a single white female is what it is. It's single white female, or it's all about Eve. It's
All right.
that type of
I can't
thing.
wait to see it.
Or is it the Can't Stop the Music of 2017?
Well, here we go. Here we go, which leads us right into
number 8.
Number 8.
James and I had a magical experience last night.
I'm so
did.
jealous.
We went to Hillhaven Lodge. So here, basically, we went to a screening of the documentary, The Fabulous Alan Carr. We've talked about
I saw
Alan
it, talked
Carr.
about it,
We've
and
talked
I
about the film
loved
before.
it.
It was great. And obviously, he's Hollywood's unapologetic impresario, really disco era's quintessential producer, don't you think?
I love that.
Whose career was really, I mean, after Grease and Caja Fall, his career was felled, I think the film makes clear, by a huge sort of homophobic backlash with the,
he had
advent
a series
of AIDS.
of failures,
Ups and downs. Huge ups, huge downs. And then the Oscars, of course. With
Right.
the,
Yeah, and that was sort of the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
The amazing thing was, we went to see the documentary, and Alan Carr, in his heyday, bought Hillhaven Lodge, this beautiful compound of houses
In
and
Bel Air.
built in Bel Air, yes, and built a disco in the basement because
Yes, he
that's the
did.
age you did those things.
Yes.
An Egyptian-themed disco,
And it has this fabulous pool filled with pink water
Yeah.
that was every twink
filled
that ever
with Twinkies. They
Most
called them
beautiful
Twinkies
men.
in
Called
the
them
day.
Twinkies.
They became Twinks, right?
It's funny because I remember in the 70s we called them tricks. Which is something different. That the word take on a new meaning with
So
prostitution
Twinks
and everything.
were tricks.
Twinks were tricks. Fern Leibowitz coined the term, I believe.
Anywho, the screening of the film was in Hillhaven Lodge. So we were watching the film in his
Brett
old house.
Ratner's
Brett
living
Ratner
room.
bought it
Ratner,
from
the
Alan
Hollywood
Carr.
producer. So Brett Ratner gets up. Brett Ratner bought the house, and he gets up and tells the story how he bought the house.
But as he's telling the story,
Yeah.
his phone is ringing, and he's like stopping
yes.
it. Hey, and like he'll be
Brett's a
talking.
character.
Brett is
Very
a
Hollywood.
character.
He said
Yes.
he's the straight version of Alan Carr.
Yes.
And good for him. I mean, actually, I'd forgotten. Brett Ratner was once enlisted to produce the Academy Awards. And he told this story, so I don't think you'll mind us repeating it. He had to bow out because he made some remark about faggots, right?
Oh yes,
Yes, he said, we're not going to rehearse like a bunch of pussies or something. Something like that. Everybody got very upset, thought he was homophobic, which of course he is not,
Right.
because if you're homophobic, you're not going to buy Alan Carr's old house. But he tells a story, and he's very grateful that he didn't get to produce the Academy Awards because it seems like a poisoned chalice. Certainly was the end of Alan Carr's career.
Poisoned chalice.
But he tells the story of how he got the house, and he'd always wanted a Hollywood house, a storied Hollywood house. And the real estate agent called him up. He was staying in a hotel and said, I got a house for you. Get up here. As he walked in to look at the house, Alan Carr's body was being removed.
That's how fast Hollywood real estate moves.
If I could ask for
Like
you.
the body wasn't even cold. And he also said, he was addressing the audience, there were about 50 of us there to watch the film. He said that he also has Alan Carr's complete collection of caftans.
Yeah, he said that.
Yes, James squealed like a
at that moment, I went, say that, no, everybody
squealed
turned to
like
look
a
at me.
stuck pig. The room,
And I kept looking for excuses to go to leave during the
The
screening
tour
and go
was not
upstairs.
offered, was it?
No, it was not offered.
We were invited down to the disco after the show, and we went down. It's been restored.
Yep.
I had a little bit of a frisson of like,
It's
It's
tiny, right?
amazing.
It's very small.
Oh, tiny. You can swing a cat.
Yeah.
I mean,
you couldn't bust a move. There was
No,
no
I mean, you
real.
could
So imagine
this.
being there with Warren Beatty and John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John all
Well, a
kind
couple
of
people
crushed
that
together.
we were with down there were like the last time I was here. I was with Quincy Jones and
yes.
Mick Jagger, and we were trying to dance.
yes, that was like someone was there, sort of regaling us with stories, and clearly the banquettes had been what's the word?
Refurbished or
because James
Detoxed.
said.
I know. I was trying to look with my blue light, trying to get like the sperm on the wall.
James said Brett bought the house with the cum stain still on the. I was like,
Still, the walls were still
dripping.
dripping. I do want to say real quickly that the
Yes.
two takeaways for me were
Yeah.
Fenton and I were the first ones there.
we literally.
Well, at 5 p.m.
The
with like a
invite
covered
said
dish.
6:30, so we thought we better get there, and we were like half an
We
hour.
got there, and Brett's brothers were coming with pizza for him,
and the mother,
and
she
the
was
mother
there.
was there. But
They were very nice.
But very quickly it started filling up, and I noticed right off the bat that Peter Bogdanovich
Yes.
was sitting by himself in a corner, and I think he'd been there.
No, he lives
since-
there.
Oh, he did.
He is a
Oh.
roommate of Brett's. I think Brett brought him in.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
The other big takeaway for me was I went to the bathroom 3 times, and because in the bathroom next to the toilet there's a giant Warhol, a Chairman Mao,
A real Warhol.
a real Warhol,
Of course.
and then there's also 2 Helmut Newtons and a La Chapelle just sitting in the bathroom, just
Nice.
sitting in the bathroom.
I mean, it was a fabulous house. I kind of
Ev-
wanted to roam around
Yes.
a bit more.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like you were saying, though, it's one of those things that you can't
Yes.
really go back. You know, it's like when we were down in the basement, and because so much of that you had to live through it, and when you try and show people how fun it is, it really doesn't.
No, but showing how small the space was and how intimate and kind of unpretentious. You know how things are so big now, and,
Yes.
and everyone just, it's like
It wasn't a
they
big
just had
mansion.
fun.
No, it
They
was
just had fun.
It was just a nice big house in the Midwest,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this huge.
But I think that's so fascinating because sometimes you'll go into the old 30s houses, you know, of the big Hollywood stars, and they haven't been renovated. And there's a closet the size of, like, you couldn't even put a broom in it, let alone your wardrobe or even your Trina Tux. I mean, it's like,
And there were no huggable hangers then, so you
no.
really.
I mean, the
yeah, so many
deprivation.
of those houses, especially when you drive through Beverly Hills, when you go down the main streets and stuff, they're just regular houses in any other
I
city
know.
in the
We're
world.
gross
So
now.
glamour is, you know, it's all in the telling.
And it's all in the fact that, like, you know, that Anne Margaret was there, and like the people, and but you don't get that now. I don't know. It's sort of strange. We were talking on the way home about like so many of those times, like the mythology is bigger than what it actually was.
But that's the whole. We're in Tinseltown. We're in
Yeah,
storytelling.
exactly,
This is where we
exactly.
tell the stories. But it was a lovely, lovely evening. And
Yeah.
Brett Ratner, of course, owns the house, and he launched Hill Haven whiskey.
So we were
because
all
he said
drinking
it
Will
felt,
Haven,
It felt
yeah.
it
Yeah.
needed a spirit, and I
Yeah.
thought it's lovely to see, and he's using the house to entertain. It was very generous of him, and I think.
So are you
going
going to give Brett's a street address and phone number so everyone can go and visit?
Yes,
Wait.
we'll post that on the WOW Report. Right.
I do want to say,
Yeah.
Tom, that there is one scene in the movie, another scene where I gasped out
Yeah.
loud, where it's this pair of glasses.
Oh, yes.
It's the big ones with the lucite underneath and the purple on
You
top.
know exactly the.
I
plan.
am going
We
to
have
get those by God someday. You will see
The
me
documentary
on here.
is coming out soon, I believe.
It is. It's a fantastic documentary. Look, we have to take a quick break.
Yep.
So here's our question. It's an Alan Carr question. This might be too easy, so I've got a backup question. What phrase is Alan Carr famous for? Is that too easy?
I don't know it.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh,
you do.
okay.
You were the one who pointed it out to us that this is what happened.
Yes. Okay, we'll have the answer right after the break. You're listening to the WOW Report on Radio Andy, Sirius XM.
You're listening to World of Wonders WOW Report.
Welcome back to the WOW Report, our countdown of the top 10 things that make us go
Wow.
This week, I'm Fenton Bailey, joined as ever by Tom Campbell, James St. James, and Blake.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Blake. So before the break, our question was, what phrase is Alan Carr, the legendary disco promoter producer, famous for?
Now, I saw this documentary a month or two ago,
Right.
and I am clearly working too hard because I can't remember. I'm going to say Grease is the word.
Oh,
Actually, that's really
that is
good.
close.
That
But
is
it's not,
good.
and we're going to give you another hint here because it has to do with something that he reinvented. People were saying one thing, and he changed it to something else.
The Oscar goes to.
Yay!
Yes, there you go.
He invented that phrase.
Yes.
Up until that point, it was always the winner is, the winner is, the winner is.
Exactly.
And his point of view was, thank you for refreshing my memory, was if you're nominated, you're already a winner, and that the Oscar goes to. And
Yes.
which he was a classy guy. Did you have a different opinion of him after seeing the documentary?
Oh, I mean, I always loved him. I always thought he was great. But I do think he definitely got shafted and got short shrift.
Well, I remember
and was a
always-
classy guy and was a victim really of homophobia. Not just it's not so much anti-gayness; it's that hatred of the sissy. And I think that
Don't
I'm
go too
sorry that
far.
persists
Don't make
today.
us
Yes, don't be
uneasy.
too outrageous or too flamboyant.
This is why we make
James.
RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay.
What we could say?
Oh, I thought you were saying don't be too flamboyant, James.
I was a little bit.
He was in a funny way, an ironic
waving
way.
a flag.
No, I was just going to say that I grew up thinking of him as that silly guy on Mike Douglas.
Sure.
And I never, he had a little gravitas to him that I didn't realize was there.
I think oftentimes the funniest, most entertaining people are the most serious.
Every clown wants to be Hamlet.
Number 7, Tom.
Number 7.
Well, you know, this week has been very full of bad news, political stuff, which we're kind of totally ignoring in a good way. We're trying to get a little. I listened to "Escapade" by Janet Jackson. It made me so happy because, come on, baby, let's get away. So I went to the movies to escape. And I saw an Inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power. The Al Gore follow-up to an Inconvenient Truth.
Yeah.
You saw it before Trump had been elected, but before...
I saw it at Sunrise the night before the inauguration when the climate denier-in-chief took office.
And I saw it this week, and I got to say, the experience of watching it, it's a little dry, but I liked it, and it does make a case. It starts off, the polar caps are melting, and Al Gore is there. Miami is, a lot of the things they predicted in the first one is drowning.
Just last week, they were wading through water in Miami
There were
Beach.
fish on Ocean Drive.
Yeah. He said one of the most controversial parts of the first movie was when they showed the map of how the 9/11 memorial would be flooded, and
nobody believed it, and
was.
it caused a big hue and cry. And then, of course, Hurricane Sandy was it that did it?
Yes. And then there's a scene with him meeting with some Indian officials, and they're basically going to build tons more coal plants. And they're like, you had 150 years of fossil fuels to get yourselves economically on your feet.
It's our turn.
It's our turn. And so that's the big sort of personal journey. So it's sort of the journey of the hero is kind of what this documentary is about. And it sort of ends with the climate accords in Paris in 2015.
Well, that's the most amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're really there, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yes, because he ended up calling a friend at Solar City, which is Tesla's, thing, and got them to agree to share intel with India to get them to sign on the accord that they would not be left behind technologically.
That's absolutely right. He saved it single-handed.
Yes, and so there's that, but there's also stuff like there's the fact I didn't know that Al Gore, when Clinton was president, and he was vice president, he helped put together this Discover satellite that was going to be able to monitor if sun flares are happening, which are very important to know about.
Scare me! I'm so scared of sun flares.
But also, it also had this ability to take pictures of the Earth and to be able to monitor the Earth from far away in a climate way. And when it was done just as Bush became president, and they took out all the technology, like literally took the camera off the satellite and sent it up just to do sun flares. Right. So during Obama's presidency, it got back up. It's up in the sky, and now Trump is threatening to turn it off again. So there'll be no record, whatever. And there's this beautiful moment because he shows the picture of the big blue marble, the picture of Earth from space,
gorgeous,
that is only since 1972.
Exactly. It's our generation who have seen that thing.
And he talked about how in 72 and I remember that moment.
I remember it too.
And we were all just like, holy shit, that's where we live.
In fact, there was a show called The Big Blue Marble that came because of the picture.
And that's what inspired him to want to take more pictures of the Earth, because it's kind of like there's one high school picture, senior picture.
Well, but there was another one just 2 years ago or last year that they redid it again, and it's even
that's because
bigger.
of this Discover satellite that Al Gore has a lot to do with.
We only knew what the Earth looked like
from
beginning
afar.
in 72.
The first time we saw a photograph of the whole
We'd
thing.
never had a head to toe.
We'd been to the moon before, but had never even seen the Earth.
We never photographed it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's an amazing thing. And then, he also goes to a red state with a red mayor and a red town. And they agree because basically, thank you to Obama, solar and wind energy are actually economically viable. So and his message for us all, and I have to talk to you about this, Fenton, is he's at the end. They're like, go do something. Make your office, your town, your home zero emissions. So let's get some solar panels.
That's the
on
challenge
World of Wonder.
to you.
Well, the great thing about Tesla,
us.
of course, is they've introduced this roofing material where the roof itself is the solar panel. It's a competitively priced product. Isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg to have a new roof.
Yes.
For the first time, it's really viable.
Yes.
And I think that will put paid to use of fossil fuels.
But of course, you have the Republicans on the other hand saying, "What if it's cloudy?" Like they have these talking points to try and
And the really sad thing is that it feels like it was made in anticipation of Hillary winning and this victory, and of course now the Paris Accord has been.
Well, can I just exactly, the Paris Accord being and Gore went to see Trump after the election. It's in the film. And he honored the confidentiality of the meeting. It's like, for fuck's sake, we have to stop being so nice.
Yes.
I even think the title is inherently problematic. An inconvenient sequel. It's a slightly artsy-fartsy title. It's more than fucking inconvenient. It's critical.
Right.
And we need to be a little more fiery, a little more direct.
We need to stop snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Exactly.
And the last important thing I want to say is the old footage of Al Gore from the 90s reminded me how hot he was. And I used to imagine, and Bill was pudgy, and he was thin and hot, and I used to imagine they were a gay couple, and that Al would be the one who'd go to the gym and bring the trick back, and Bill would be in the shadows in a chair.
God, this is
I sort of had a John Quayle thing.
Really? Dan Quayle?
A Dan Quayle fantasy.
Okay, you just ruined my fantasy. Thank you very much.
Well, that's hot.
Number 6.
James?
Yes, James. I gotta keep it. Yes.
What are we at? What's going on?
We're number 6.
Where are we?
James. Well, yes.
Number 6. Yes, I was trying to escape the pain and the misery of the weekend too. I went to go see Annabelle, which is a horror movie. I don't like horror movies. I'm not good at horror movies. I went with my sister, who is even worse than me at horror movies.
Why
she's
did
the one,
you go?
She's shouting back at the theater at the screen. She's one of those people who's like, the door will squeak and she'll scream very loudly.
Good for her.
I was a little skeptical. I didn't think that we needed another possessed doll movie. I hadn't seen any of the Annabelles before, but I was really pleasantly surprised because this was
we do need another possessed doll movie.
We do need more. Well, because it's a staple of the horror genre since Lionel Barrymore in 1935 did Devil Doll. I don't know if any of you remember Devil Doll, where he's in drag and he runs the toy store and he shrinks down these human beings.
I've never seen that.
And we might have to do a whole thing on this.
Devil Doll, right?
Devil Doll, really fantastic. But anyway, there's a couple of really genuinely scary moments in this, and I wanted to bring it up with you because there's a scene where there's a room and it's all covered. It's this old house that's been turned into an orphanage, and a little girl died there, and so her spirit is still roaming the hallways and everything like that. And there's a room that's covered in sheets, and all the furniture is covered in sheets. And at one point, the doll is under the sheets. She gets up, and so it looks like a ghost is walking towards you. And it's one of those tropes, the ghost sheet and everything like that hasn't been scary since the 50s or something like that, except for remember in the first Halloween when Michael Myers is under the sheet, and it's one of the scariest moments in movie history. This again is that sort of reinventing that trope of that hasn't been scary in forever. It was sort of like Ghost Story where they reinvented the sheet and made it like
this is like
meta.
the third show in a row where we've talked about ghosts on the sheets.
And it's the sort of postmodern thing that like it's time to reinvent these tired old things in the 21st century.
And why does it have such power? Like
it does have a lot of power because the doll is slowly walking under the sheet. And literally, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the scene right now. It's so terrifying. There's the whole movie. It's an origin story for Annabelle. It takes place in the 1950s. Like I said, this little girl dies. Her father was a doll maker, and then he invites these children to come live with him in an orphanage. There's a little girl who had polio, so she's got a leg brace. Right off the bat, there's going to be a lot of chasing the polio girl. There's a chair that goes up and down to get her, and that like the chair is going to stop at some point when the doll is chasing her, and she's going to be stuck in the chair.
That's the beauty of horror, though. You see it coming, and it's like Golden Girls. You see the joke coming, but it's so well executed, you laugh your butt off.
Yes.
The big problem with the movie is that the whole movie takes place at nighttime, and there's people roaming about all by themselves. They walk into these rooms, they see a little something skittering out of the corner of their eye. They never turn on the light. They never call for anyone. They always say, "Well, what's that behind the sofa?" And so they go and they try, and they're always fighting the doll.
But I would make the case that it's not about reality, obviously, but it's about the idea of like if you're walking alone at night to your car or something, it's that fear, right? They're trying to capture that.
There might be
or like
something.
you're talking about the girl whose hair falls over. It's like when you're lying in bed and your arm's over the bed. You're like, what's gonna happen?
Wait, hold on. There's a number of scenes where there's a grate under each step because there's someone you can hide underneath the stairs and someone can grab you.
Right.
There's like this house is set up so perfectly that those moments are always happening in this. It is really good. It's very long, and at some point you think that it's over, and then it's like 12 years later, and then you think it's over, and it's like 12 years later, and it just keeps going on and on and on. You did notice that it went on?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't see the first Annabelle.
I didn't either, so I didn't know that.
I did see the first Annabelle.
The end had something to do with the first one, but because I walked out like, what?
Yeah. And doesn't Annabelle itself, the first Annabelle, come out of The Conjuring?
Yes, it's in the Conjuring
so there's
universe.
There's a whole universe. There's a whole
a dark universe, as it were.
Love it.
Okay,
so you recommend it?
I do. It was very scary, and it really did take me out of all the real horror that was happening in real life, and it was nice.
Well, that's Annabelle Creation in theaters now. Check your local listings.
Number 5.
I was so depressed. I went to see The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Theater, sweetie.
Theater, darling.
Billy and Nolan and I, we took ourselves off to go see this play.
It's at the Amundsen downtown?
Yes, it's at the Amundsen downtown. To me, it's the play, like, in a way that I couldn't enjoy Evan Hansen. This is the one I could enjoy. It's like, it's about an autistic kid. Because Evan Hansen's on the spectrum, right?
He's just nervous, I think, at the end of the day. But I hear you. But you think he's autistic the way he performs.
Wait, I do want to say, hold on one second, that it's based on a novel that came out in 2003.
Right.
That was, I had read the book, and the interesting thing is the book is entirely told from the story of this autistic child who can't read symbols of facial expressions and stuff. So you, the audience, know what's going on, but the narrator doesn't. And they were saying that when they were trying to transpose it into a play, that they couldn't do that. So I'm interested to hear how they managed to tell this story.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
What they did is he's writing a book in his therapy class. He writes a story, and then as the story unfolds, you realize that the story is being dramatized, is being turned into a play. So
it's a play within a play.
It's a play within a play.
Right, okay.
Which
But it's not, is it told from his point of view? Is there a narration?
Well, he's the lead actor. I mean, this is the thing. It's a tour de force of this kid who, funnily enough, the understudy was playing the part when I saw it. I went to Sunday matinee. The most amazing physical performance I've ever. It was just incredible. I mean, the energy it required to sustain it, and he was so good.
Do you have the actor's name?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, you got to give a shout out, right?
Of course. The actor's name is Benjamin Wheelwright. I immediately followed him on Instagram. He's Canadian, very hot.
No, but I also remember hearing that the stage, the way it's set up.
Yes. Okay, so it's pretty brutal. It's a box grid stage set, and in the middle of the stage is a large dog with a pitchfork through it. That's how it begins, and it kind of goes from there.
It's a mystery of the dog is killed, and he has to try and figure out. He's playing Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
and
so
his father's trying to prevent him from finding out, and his mother's not around, and he thinks his mother's dead, and what the play is really about, and the novel too, I guess, is human relationships. And he's autistic, and he cannot tell a lie. He can only tell the truth, in the sense that he's very literal. He doesn't understand idioms or metaphors. But then what the play comes to explore is you need untruth in relationships, and the purpose of lies, and the purpose of not deceit necessarily, but the purpose of bare naked
the wheels
diplomacy.
On the, yes.
Diplomacy.
Yes,
if you will.
I mean an interestingly uncomfortable theme at this time, because we have a president who lies about everything all the time, and
we're trafficking in fake news.
You want to say truth is so important, but this is it's a compassionate exploration of why humans lie to each other to maintain relationships and interact, and it's the sort of boy's
and he
hero
can't
story.
understand that because he's incapable of the lies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I say is a British guy wrote the novel. The play is all these British characters. played by some Americans and Canadians. And it's sort of like a Monty Python. They're very British. Like there's this sort of chirpy auntie lady up there. It's just this sort of gallery of British characters. But the accents sort of slip in and out. And I was like sort of getting a little bit, I say, well, which one is this? But then I thought, actually, this could all be deliberate, because if you are autistic, from your point of view, those tropes make no sense and that they aren't consistent. And you're like, well, why this now? Why that now? So I thought that...
You think it was deliberate?
Well, either it was yes. I
mean, it started on the west. It started on the West End, and it did come to Broadway, didn't it? A few years ago.
Yes,
But I tell you, Benjamin Wheelwright James is a huge star. I'm going to give you him, and you should go see it. It's at the Armanson Theatre in DTLA until September 10th. Is DTLA downtown LA?
That's right.
Okay.
Learning something new every day.
What are the kids saying?
Yes. Okay. Let's take a break. The trivia question, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is the highest grossing horror movie of all time? You're listening to the WOW Report on Radio Andy SiriusXM, and we'll have the answer right after the break.
You're listening to World of Wonders WOW Report.
Welcome back to the WOW Report, our countdown of the top 10 things that made us go wow. This week, I'm Fenton Bailey. I'm here with Tom Campbell, James St. James, Blake.
Hi.
Okay, so our question was, because you were talking, James, about Annabelle, right?
Yes.
Annabelle
Creation.
Thank you. Yes, Annabelle Creation. What is the highest grossing horror movie of all time? I'm going to guess it's The Exorcist.
Oh, I was going to say it's probably something that we don't realize. It's probably from like 2013 because ticket prices are so high.
What about Saw or something?
Yeah, like
or
maybe like 28 Days Later or something like that.
I want to say, just because I love Halloween, the original John Carpenter, so I'm going to say Halloween. I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
No, you're probably right. James, did you guess?
I'm going to say something, very recent.
So that's not really an answer.
Something recent.
Fenton was the closest. Exorcist is number 2.
Wow.
Okay. But actually, The Sixth Sense is the highest grossing.
Oh.
And M. Night Shyamalan actually has number 3, too, Signs.
What? That's a travesty.
International,
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
Okay. Well, let's keep on with our countdown. Number 4.
Number 4.
Now, with all the news that's been breaking, I have unfortunately, in addition to Radio Andy, I have realized that CNN is on my Sirius radio. So as I'm commuting, I am listening to CNN and I am inundated. So I'm trying to escape. I know I'm trying to escape, but
CNN is crack. You've got to stop it.
5 hours the other night.
But anyway, but there is a story that I think is getting short shrift that is amazing. Kathy Griffin, who most recently was in that controversy of holding the Trump head.
Yeah,
and because I believe, because I love Kathy Griffin, she's hilarious. She's been a ally
genius.
for whatever. She's genius. She gets raked over the coals.
Yeah.
Did she handle it perfectly? Who
No.
knows? But she's also, I think, an easy target. Anytime they can knock Kathy down,
Only thing,
they can
if
knock Kathy
only
down.
she hadn't apologized. If only she just stuck to her
Well,
guns.
it was freaking Tyler Shields too, and he just walked away unscathed.
Yeah.
It really upsets me. The whole thing.
This is breaking news.
Right.
So this controversy is happening. Kathy's back, and she got this email from a board of a directors member of CBS, who she's not naming. She got this email, and I'm going to read it because it's so good. But it's like, Kathy, its subject is your next move. Kathy, it's obvious that somehow you have got to get Trump himself, who has been known to be compassionate. However, it's not over until it's over. You have one chance left. If you send the following letter, not an email, to the president. Don't change a word of it, in all caps. Go to Google to how to address the president and where to send it, etc. You will, all caps, exclusively release the letter to Fox Broadcasting, all caps. Do not send to the other networks. I think this will possibly get you over this mess. And this is the letter.
So wait a minute. So somebody sends her out of the blue,
Out of the blue.
saying, listen, I've written a letter that I think you should say that you wrote.
Yes.
And I don't want you to change a word.
Yes.
And if you do it, everything is going to be fine.
And this is to show you what a sycophant. This man is. I looked at the board of directors, and they're very important people. So this is how he is suggesting we deal with the president of the United States. Dear Mr. President, please, I beg you not to stop reading. I have been Wait, I beg you to not stop reading. I have done a terrible thing. I was attempting to appeal to my audience, not thinking of the effect on you and your family, not thinking how misguided I was. What I did was beyond being oblivious to humanity. Going on. I'm reading the whole thing. I am now being lectured by friends who have supported you, friends who I didn't want to listen to in the past about you. Now, with my world crumbling around me, I'm listening to the first time about the great things that you have done and are doing. How stupid I was to follow the lies from the left. It took my terrible mistake to finally see the false news. I compounded the lies by creating the ugly, disgusting, and horrendous, unspeakable thing, thinking it was funny at your expense, or not thinking of the hurt I have caused you and your family just to possibly get a laugh. How warped and misguided I was. My stupidity is overwhelming.
No, but wait a minute. Hold on.
This must be fake.
No, but
No,
I keep thinking
really.
that it is a Russian bot or it's a Trump supporter who is pretending to who
hijacked the other guy's email.
Yeah, the buzzwords and everything.
I'm going to take it at face value until I hear otherwise.
Okay.
I'm going to continue. It's almost over. I do not deserve what I am asking of you. I am begging you to open your heart and forgive me. I have done a terrible thing, and I have lost my career and my life. My career is over, and I have lost the respect of my audience. I spent my entire life to get to wherever I was in stand-up comedy, only to lose it forever. Your forgiveness is to allow me to live my life with my head held high, knowing that I am a good person and forever repenting for the hurt I have caused. Thank you, sir, for hearing my plea. Misspelled. Respectfully, Kathy Griffin. And he goes, Kathy, I have spent the last hour and a half composing the letter. Please do not call me to discuss it. Just do it. If you don't do exactly what I've written, your career is over.
Red flags.
I think this will get the world. Okay.
Now, hold on. But I do want to say, hold on. I want to say, with all due respect, it sounds like an old cat lady sitting at home saying that I've figured out how to save Kathy's career, and I'm going to pretend to be this big executive, and I'm going to write these buzzwords.
It could also be a Trump person because Trump
people
cannot spell.
No, it's a
No,
Trump
but I
person.
meant from inside the White House.
Oh, but see, to me, I thought it was a Russian bot because Russian bots can't spell either.
What do you think, Tom?
I'm taking it at face value, and maybe I'm spreading fake news. I don't think I am. It just, I mean, and if I don't think this is fiction. This is how you have to talk to the president. You have to,
I
they talk
believe
about
that.
the briefings that they give him have good news.
Right.
That they read those little letters from Pickles, and we live in this like banana republic where you have to bow down. What was the was it the Indian prince or ambassador who said that now that
yes, Melania
Ivanka is coming, that we have to treat her like a Saudi prince, like a dim-witted Saudi prince, like we have to actually kowtow to these people. Maybe more will be revealed.
No. I believe that she actually got it. I don't think Kathy is spreading fake news. I think it's real, and I think that somebody who is a Trump supporter sent it to her. I just it just feels like one of those things that like somebody has. It's just creepy and weird, and you're right. No matter who sent it, it's creepy and weird.
Yeah,
but
maybe
conversely,
Annabelle, the doll, sent it.
Weirdly, at the same time, I just think we have to keep the focus on the fact that he refused to denounce neo-Nazis, and he falsely equated Nazis with left people, and equated the death of however many people died in World War II with left people marching without a permit.
But
it is
I'll tell you something.
It is criminal. It is traitorous. It is evil, unspeakably evil. And I still don't think we completely grasp what we saw the other day.
No, because the pussy grabbing thing, we thought that we keep thinking these, and he keeps pushing the line back of how evil he can be.
Yes.
I really think that. I lost my train of thought. It's one of those. It's a terrible situation. It's not going to end with this, I don't think. And I don't know where it goes.
Number 3.
Like we're fired up.
Yeah.
Number 3, tiki torches.
Okay.
I mean, because there was a big march at Charlottesville, and they were carrying tiki torches. I've always loved
the
tiki
citronella
torch.
tiki torches that you get at
great for a backyard barbecue.
Hawaiian.
You can get
Polynesian.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I mean, but first I have to say, the website that I think has been taken down or that sort of organized the march, they said, they were saying what to bring and what not to bring. And they said, bring a tiki torch, required. And in the instructions, it said, make sure and get some tiki torch fuel, oil too, otherwise they won't burn.
That's good.
which I think indicates how fucking stupid these people are. It's like going to a cross burning without a lighter. I mean, right?
Yes.
I mean, and of course the internet just lit up because, the point about a tiki torch is they are completely non-US. They are completely non-white. They are a completely foreign item.
And probably made in China or made in Mexico. Or
of course, they were trying very desperately to recreate the old Klan rallies where they had actual torches. Right. I did see that the Tiki company put out
absolutely,
yes.
They did. I mean, they certainly denounced it quicker than Trump did.
They went further than Trump did about the denouncing Klan.
But there were some really funny things on Twitter, like nothing says I'm defending white culture like carrying a tiki torch, or when you think you're the master race, but you can't figure out how to make your own damn torch.
That's good.
Guys, we need to look tough. Get the tiki torches. Yes. End immigration, they chant, holding tiki torches. Right. I mean, and that's when the luau went south. I mean, it's grotesque. I mean, here's the thing. They are ridiculous. They are risible. But of course, at the same time, you can't mistake the fact that they are vicious and dangerous and evil.
That's the thing, because as it was happening, going on in real time, and you're seeing all the memes and everything happening, I was it was like, I don't know that we should be laughing just yet at this. We shouldn't be, yes, you can take them down a notch and everything, and yes, humor deletes it, but we needed to really absorb the horror of what was happening. Friday night, before Saturday, Friday night was just as terrifying to me. I don't know if you saw the image of the 4 college girls holding the sign, and there was 1,000 people with torches surrounding them, and it's those moments where you have to let it sink in, and instead of going to your go-to humor,
almost a defense.
But humor is not. In this case, I think humor. See, I believe humor can be annihilating, and I think that's the purpose of this. It's like
I totally agree.
These people have no ground on which to stand. Their ideals are insane and a nonsense and risible, and it's like so it is important. The ridicule actually is important.
No, I get that. I just wanted a moment to let it sink in first.
We're not laughing our way through it.
No, because we needed to cry before we laughed.
Absolutely. And of course, the other irony is that a lot of these people probably don't know that tiki torches are Polynesian or foreign. Probably don't even know where Polynesia is.
Well, they don't even know why they hate.
And,
it's like,
it just makes things easier for them.
That actually Polynesian culture kind of had a huge influx post-World War II when people came back from the South Pacific. And of course, there's that great legendary musical, South Pacific.
Which has...
You know what South Pacific is about? It's about interracial love and tolerance.
And it has that great song, You Have to Taught to Be Hate.
You have to be carefully taught.
Yeah, you have to be carefully taught.
Oh, James.
Lighten it up, James.
Bring us back from the edge.
Number 2.
Well, I watched the Teen Choice Awards. Did anyone? You guys, I sent around a quiz beforehand.
Okay, I did it. I got 0.
Okay,
thank you.
It was like numbered. It was like 10.
0.
The quiz was, there was all these pictures of teen superstars, and you had to identify them, right? And it was like these names of these people you've never heard. I've never seen any of these faces before.
Right.
We did this last year on the show, where the Teen Choice Awards, and every year we get a little older and a little more out of touch with teen culture.
Oh, and it's time to take a break.
I'm hoping I get a little bit more knowledgeable of the YouTube stars and
No, but I thought I did.
Oh, you didn't
but
do
just
the quiz?
when I get to know Cameron Dallas and Graham, all those people, like all of a sudden, they're over. They're gone. It has all these new people that I've never heard of. I just want to say,
did you do the quiz?
I did do the quiz. I knew 3 people.
Okay,
3 out of.
I want to say that
15.
Sorry.
There were these. They kept bringing on big, huge superstars, Janelle Parrish and the Dolan twins. People I've never ever seen. This the host was Logan Paul, and the only reason I know who Logan Paul is because he's been getting all that bad press, where he has a house in West Hollywood, and every day on the news they're talking about what a douchebag he is and how much his
neighbors are kicking him out for being.
And we just saw his ding dong.
We did just see his Ding Dong on Oh My God blog. It is
Ding
something
dong.
to see. I'm a big Logan Paul fan now. I just want to say that.
He's of age, right? He's an adult.
One of the other interesting things about it was Vanessa. Oh no, he's very old. Yes,
he's old.
Yeah. Vanessa
At least
Hudgens came
19.
out. She was the grande dame of the Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens
is got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
got a Lifetime Achievement Award. She's all of 23 years old, I think.
She gave a great speech. She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
You know who she looks like a little bit to remind me of? Like a young Linda Ronstadt, speaking of someone no one.
see that.
I want to do the Linda Ronstadt
And she's
story.
sort of the queen of boho chic and
with
everything.
Vanessa Hudgens.
That's a great idea.
Because that songbook needs to come back. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
keep going.
the Little Mix, Fifth Harmony, I can't tell either of them apart. They're totally interchangeable.
All four of them. All four of the Fifth Harmonies.
There was Riverdale, of course, swept. It did really well. I'm a huge Riverdale fan, so that was sort of exciting. There was Little Yachty. Would you know Little Yachty?
I'm a big Yachty.
Oh, is Little Yachty a rapper?
He is a rapper,
Oh,
yes.
I
With
do
the
know
red
Little
hair.
Yachty. Yay!
With the red hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maddie
he's
Ziegler is another grande dame. All of a sudden, she's a woman. She was the little girl in the Sia videos who did all the
Right,
dancing.
right. Oh,
And
she's all
now
grown up.
What?
She's grown up.
She won a big
she's
award,
like
too.
a 40-year-old
What does she
woman
do?
now. She's like a truck driver. She comes out.
She went through puberty is all she did.
went through
She's
puberty, yeah.
Louise.
And what did
Yes.
she do? Did she have a career? Or?
She's from Dance Moms.
Yeah.
She got her thing there. She's like a really good dancer. And then Sia handpicked her.
Yes.
And those crazy wig, like the child
yes,
is going,
yes.
that's her.
But what does she do now?
Still dances.
Still dances.
I think she's in movies now, or she's got movies coming out.
She
Something
probably
like
has a cooking wear line or
They-
something.
but they
Like
kept
a franchise.
they kept switching back and forth to performances, of course, that were taking place off stage.
didn't
I
know
do want to say that they kept saying, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Clean Bandits. And you'd be like, what? And then there was another one called Echo Smith, which I hear apparently is very big, yes. Pretty Much is coming up. And the band you love to hate, Pretty Much. And it was like, who are they? There was another one called...
And they weren't that spectacular
No,
musically.
they
That's the
couldn't
part.
sing,
Like,
they did-
I'm all for new music, but it felt a little...
Triple Ghetto Kids came out. I do want to say that it's that same thing that happened in 1982 when the British invasion happened, and it was these bands who were studio bands, and then they did a video, but they hadn't had any practice, they hadn't toured,
Right.
and they would get these club gigs, and you would see them, and they couldn't sing, they'd never performed before because they just had these videos, and it's sort of the same thing is happening right now.
You are so wise.
Thank you.
James.
I do want. I see you because I said British people and they can't sing, and all of a sudden you went. But you're going a little bit. But the takeaway from the evening, I'm not even going to give you a chance to jump in.
It likes less Brit people than I do, by the way.
But I
It's
do want
very
to say
particular.
all night long they kept saying, and the biggest star of the evening is coming, and just right around the corner, it's the biggest star of the night. It's the performance you cannot wait. Da da da. And it was Louis Tomlinson was the biggest star they got. Louis Tomlinson from One Direction, who was
huge.
No, but he was the least famous of the One Directioners. He was
Right.
also the one who was just known for he was just harmonizing. He never sang a note on his own.
How was his performance?
It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, he sang with BB Rexa, and the song is really fantastic. And I'm thinking Louis Tomlinson might be the breakout star of One Direction now.
So there was a happy ending.
Yeah, there was. It was fascinating because, it's these kids in these horrible outfits. They haven't gotten the style
James,
yet.
you're sounding a little bitter. I mean,
We don't know who any of them are, and every year I just get older and more like, you kids get off my lawn.
We have to take a quick break. But when we come back, we will reveal the number one thing this week that made us go,
Wow.
And our resistor of the week as well.
Very controversial
It's
resistor.
a Wow Report on Radio and SiriusXM.
I'm leaving before we even start this one. I don't even want to be here for this one.
All right, goodbye.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome back. It's that time. It's the time that we reveal the number one thing that made us go,
Wow.
This week,
Number 1.
it is, will be, shall be. It's the eclipse.
Total
Oh.
eclipse of the heart.
The eclipse. It is funny, actually, at this time. In history, eclipses have always sort of
Portended the end of
People have
times.
freaked out. I have to say, with this total eclipse, it couldn't come at a freakier time.
The Armageddon is here.
Plus, it was predicted in that 1900 novel by that
I
novelist.
think Nostradamus said something about trumpeting
I'm-
the end of
I
times
think it's
with
all-
an eclipse.
Mhm. I'm beginning to feel a little spooked out by
Yeah,
the eclipse. Do you have plans for the Eclipse?
Well, I was going to go see Bonnie Tyler on the Royal Caribbean cruise. I think Tom has a little something to say about this.
I was not really into the Eclipse because I was like, I'm not going to get there. I'm working hard right now. I'm just going to be asleep. But then I found out that Bonnie Tyler, who had Turn Around.
Also, I need a hero. I need a hero for the morning light.
But the Royal Caribbean Total Eclipse Cruise has an extra surprise in store for their once-in-a-lifetime viewing experience. Bonnie Tyler, the Welsh songstress, will be there singing Total Eclipse of the Heart, her 1983 hit. Now...
Wait, hold on one second. Just my favorite Bonnie Tyler. It's a heartache.
Well, that was her first hit.
But a heartache. It reminds me of my first boyfriend, Scotty. That I love so much. I gotta still smell his hair.
Guess who's going to be backing her up on the cruise ship?
Lionel Richie.
DNCE, Dance... Cake by the Ocean, which held by Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
So this could be Bonnie's big comeback.
So when is the show? Like, how do we see it?
It's I don't know. It'll be on YouTube or something.
All right.
But the great thing is that the Eclipse,
I don't know. Read it
I don't
yourself.
care that much.
Google
the
it.
Eclipse of the Sun lasts 2 minutes 40 seconds. The song's like 4:30. So she's gonna have to do like a shorter version.
Cut down, right?
But can you
Speed it
imagine
up.
being on a cruise, which already frightens me, and then having Bonnie Tyler singing Total Eclipse of the Heart as you're looking up.
No, wait, but hold on.
Hold
on. Spoiler here or whatever. We have to remind everybody: do not look at the sun
James,
during the total eclipse
that is
of the
not
heart.
A spoiler alert. That's a public safety
Yeah,
announcement.
the
We had
PSA.
we had an eclipse when I was a little kid, and I looked at the sun, and I had no problem. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, but in fact, we here at World of Wonder, we're giving special glasses, and we're all running
are.
up to the roof at 12:34.
All right.
Okay, so
I thought it was at 10:21.
It might be. I don't know. I was just pulling
James
numbers
is
out of my
gonna be
ass.
late.
Oh, I know. Okay, check your local listings for details about
Yes,
the
yes.
total eclipse.
We're not the news source
That's
here.
on the 21st of August. Resistor of the week.
I wanted to say that I thought it was Jim Acosta right off the bat. Let me just say, Jim Acosta was speaking
From CNN.
From CNN.
Accosted.
Jim Acosta accosted Trump the other day. Trump had been saying something. He said CNN fake news, and Jim Acosta shouted back, "You, sir, have spread a little fake news yourself, and I want more of that. I want more of the press calling him out for his bullshit. I want more people standing up to him. I thought he was the resistor of the week, and I'm going to stay with that, sir."
I do not disagree with you, but I want to throw in another name, which is, and I'll explain why, Clay Aiken, who's gay, who came out as gay, who's been a big Trump supporter, and he tweeted, remember.
Yes, and I do want to just land on that for a second and let it sit.
Well, wait, we'll circle back.
Gay man, Trump supporter.
He tweeted, remember all those times I defended a real Donald
I
Trump?
do remember Mr. Aiken.
And believed he was not actually racist?
I do remember that.
Well, ... I'm a fucking dumbass.
Too little, too late, sir.
Hashtag I'm sorry.
Apology not accepted.
Here's my thing.
Yes.
I'd like to believe, I know he keeps pushing boundaries, Trump. I'd like to believe that this is one that's really hard for people. Like, being pro-Nazi is hard for people whose parents
let go of?
and grandparents fought them in the war.
Right.
So this is I put this on my Facebook, but I was just like, listen, a lot of people were fooled by Trump. A lot of people were
Gay
fooled
men
by Trump.
should not be fooled by Trump.
I'm not going. A lot of people were fooled by Trump. We all make mistakes. Repeat.
Not that mistake.
We all make mistakes at some point in our lives, and you should not be ashamed to say you made a mistake.
Clay Aiken, you should be ashamed.
I'm with you, Tom. I think maybe it is too little, too late, but we need people to realize,
come on over.
and we mustn't intimidate them into
No.
admitting
No.
their mistakes.
That is fine.
We
Hold
need
on.
to open our arms and welcome
Okay,
them.
and I agree with that. I agree with with the Republican on the
And
street
you're
and the people in
frightening
your
them,
family.
people, James.
No. Listen to me. Hear me out 1 second.
Yes.
With every single Republican out there, if you've made a mistake, you can come to me and I will welcome you with open arms. However, if you are a fucking celebrity and you are a goddamn gay man in 2016 and you know what he is, you know the pussy grabbing, you know all of that crap, you do not have any excuse with me, okay? If as a celebrity, you are out there, you have influence and people listen to you, people look up to you. And Clay Aiken, you should not have done that.
But you know
okay?
what?
And no, so anybody else, if any non-famous people want to denounce Trump, that's perfectly fine. As a celebrity, you have a right to your audience and people are looking to you. So no, Clay Aiken, you do not get a pass from me on this.
I hear you on that, James, but I also have to say the truth about Trump has been out there not for a little bit.
It's
for
been out
years,
for 30
for
years.
decades.
And just because he was on the goddamn
is
show.
A fraud.
Yes,
he is
Clay
a
Aiken
racist.
saw it right up
He
close.
is a predator.
He was a suck-up if he
Everyone
thinks that
with eyes to see and ears to hear has known this.
And he was on the show. He was up
I-
close to Trump, so he should have
but I
known
think-
more than anybody.
I think just the Clay Aiken fixation one just has to get a little bit beyond it, because to me, I just asked the question, how is it possible when all this has been known
Why
about...
did
Hang
he
on,
not know?
hold- No.
Let him make his point.
Moving beyond Clay, just 1 second. How is it possible when we have known all that we have known about this man for so long? He has ripped off so many people. He has lied to so many people. He has assaulted people. He has betrayed people. How is it possible? How is it possible? Not only that he is in the position he is in, but even still enjoying support. And I ask that as a question. Like
Before Trump,
yeah.
I studied fascism in college.
Yeah.
I never understood how that ugly little man with a little mustache who ranted and
Who
raved,
was a joke to
who
people
was a joke
before
to
he came to
people,
power.
came into
Yes.
power. And with Trump, I understand. Because, to quote another Bonnie of Tyler's song, everyone's holding out for a hero, or people want that savior, or people want a solution, or they want easy answers. Trump fooled people for whatever reason, which we can get into another time. We have more time. He fooled people. If people are realizing they were fooled and they made a mistake, I say let's learn from our mistakes. I'm angry, and I'm angry as you.
I'm angry right now that you want to put him as Resistor of the Week.
As an example of people that are changing their minds that we should embrace. That's
And this
where I'm
week,
at.
James,
No,
I will
no,
say
I will
there
not.
have been many Resistors of the Week.
Yes,
and
they're much more worthy of this spot
and
than
every
fucking
week
Clay Aiken.
there are more Resistors,
Yes.
and may that continue. We're out of
Amen.
time this week. It would be so great to see you all at DragCon New York City.
Yes.
We still have a few tickets on sale. It's Friday, September 8th is Battle of the Runway Party. But actually, that's on Saturday. But September 9th and 10th, right, Blake?
Yes.
At Jacob Javits in New York City. Tickets still available, RuPaulsDragCon.com. Watch our shows, $1 Million Listing, RuPaul's Drag Race Revealed, Island Hunters, and you can listen to the show anytime with the Sirius app. Yay!
Or you can watch us on YouTube yell at each other. It's
Yes,
really kind of fun
yeah.
this week. That's okay. I love you, James.
I love you too. I
Same
don't
time,
love Clay Aiken.
Same place next week, James.
If I haven't been fired.
Till then, go out and do something that makes the world go
Wow.
meow. Do something that makes the world go meow.
Batman.